All right, Mankeys, I know that we had suffered a lot last week with a disappointing loss against the Rampardos, but this is a new week, and I have to inform all of you New York Yankee fans out there that we have not stopped training this week because we are going up against the Milwaukee Sawsbucks, the creator of the league itself, magnitude. Now, some things I would like to note from last week. One, I'm sorry, Azelf, that I underestimated your bulk. I did not think you could live an ice beam from a Mew at such a low amount of HP, especially after your spine had been shattered. I apologize, that cost us the game in turn with all the hacks. This week though, our team has been eating nothing but Lucky Charms. So I gotta be honest, I'm feeling pretty lucky today. I'm feeling like there's the winds of change coming our way, and I don't want to jinx us, team, but I think we've prepared well. Serperior and Milawukee, both of you, are here today because my opponent has a Landorus and a Suicune. Both of you guys need to take those on head on if he even brings the Suicune. I might see a little cow on the other side of the field sipping some sap, looking at that Miltank. If it decides to come, Hercule, we let Bookworm sit down and Hercule is here. Hercule, the assault vest wearing Conkeldurr, is here. I think we can do what we gotta do this week. I love the fact that we're bringing Chain Chomp this week. Took a break week 2, back again. Garchomp, my friend. This time I'm loving the Scarf you're sporting. I really am. That base 102 to outspeed most things on my opponent's team with the Scarf to guarantee that we can get some fun stuff off, including a Hidden Power Ice on that Landorus if need be. So today, team, have fun. Play with all of your heart, and let's take down the Milwaukee Sawsbucks in Week 3, Season 4 of the Global Battle Association. What's going on, Shady people? ShadyPenguinn welcoming you to Week 3 of the Global Battle Association Season 4. Today we are going up against the Milwaukee Sawsbucks. Magnitude, his YouTube link is in the description. Make sure you guys go show him some shady love. He is a good friend of mine. I value our friendship dearly. He's a really genuine guy, and I love him so much. Today, though, we are on opposite sides of the field, and we are going head-to-head in the GBA. His current record is 0-2, mine is 1-1, and I'd really like to go 2-1. I want a hacksless battle, please, on both sides. I am begging you, Mo, do not visit this battle. I'm gonna go over the team we're bringing for you guys today. We have Sakura the Milawukee, Sasuke holding the wide lens still, Clouded with the Expert Belt, Stealth Rock, U-Turn, Shadow Ball, and Psyshock. Hercule is here, rocking the Assault Vest. Octavius, because we need that bullet punch for the Mega Gardevoir my opponent has. And then we have a Scarf Chomp sitting here tied up with the Hidden Power Ice for the Landorus. So I'm really not sure what my opponent's gonna bring. He has a lot of threatening mons. Suicune, Landorus, Breloom. He's got crazy stuff. Let me just talk to you really quick. He's got Arcanine. He's got double Intimidate possibilities. So you bet your bottom dollar that Sakura is actually rocking the competitive this week, because we can do some serious work with it if we get a competitive boost. But enough babbling. We're going in, and I'm getting a little nervous. You guys can see that we are rocking our New York Mankeys swag as we do every single Sunday for you guys. I hope you're rocking it at home too. If you're interested in picking one up, link is in the description. They are still up for sale. We can see my opponent brought, and here's the thing. You guys know Claudia, and that's why this is pretty much a little bit of a grudge match. He's got the Claudia on his team right there, or Claudio. You can see that it's a male. I already know what he's gonna do. He's got the Claudio, and it's terrifying, but we can see that he did bring the Suicune and the Landorus along with the Arcanine. So I gotta be honest, opening up Sakura feels really good right now. Sakura is physically defensive to take on most of my opponent's team. I really wanted to be physically defensive to take the wild charge that could potentially be coming from the Arcanine. Forgive me, I have to cough really bad. That came out of nowhere. I'm gonna sip my water with the mic on. So Sasuke can have a lot of fun with this team. I'm actually running not the Hidden Power Ground for the Arcanine. I almost brought it, but instead I brought the Dragon Pulse. A little bit of regret there, but I think we can work this out. I'm feeling comfortable leading with Sakura. If my opponent leads with the Suicune, though, that is gonna be a little bit of a big deal for us. So I think just to be on the safe side, I'm gonna lead with Octavius. I can't see there being any mon that my opponent leads with that would get me upset. I would love to get the Stealth Rocks up with Clouded, though, with Cody. I'd really love to get Clouded Stealth Rocks up, but I don't want to take a U-turn. So we're gonna open up with Octavius as we jump into this battle. I'm nervous. I'm nervous. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. This is the New York Mankeys, the GBA, and we're gonna see how we do. I have my opponent's team on my phone right here. Took a picture just so I don't forget. We're gonna see what he leads with. I'm guessing he's gonna lead with the Landorus, possibly the Suicune though. We're gonna see no way the Miltank is gonna be here. Now this is fine for me. I'm assuming he's gonna wanna set up his Stealth Rocks. Now, my Octavius is running U-Turn, Bullet Punch, Bug Bite, and Swords Dance. So, I can't really go for Swords Dances until that Arcanine is gone. And this Octavius is very, very important to me. So part of me wants the Bug Bite predicting the Stealth Rocks. I really think the Stealth Rocks are coming. I'm gonna Bug Bite. I'm gonna Bug Bite expecting the Miltank Stealth Rocks. He might hard switch out, but I don't think he's gonna give up the opportunity. He is gonna withdraw No Way and go out into Landorus. We're gonna see Air Flood, the Suicune actually. I'm kind of hoping this thing was holding a berry. I'm kind of hoping this thing was holding a berry. Now, I don't know what Suicune's gonna have for my Milotic, but my Milotic doesn't have much for Suicune either. I'm not running the Toxic. I'm actually running the Mirror Coat this week, I believe. So we'll see how much a Bug Bite does. Kind of hoping this thing was holding a berry, but it's most likely leftovers. That does a good amount. I could have definitely set up a Swords Dance here and really threatened my opponent's team. But like I said, with that Arcanine around, I don't feel comfortable doing that. Now, I don't have too much of a safe switch in for the Suicune. However, Hercule does seem like the go-to switch, and I'm not going to overthink. I am just going to go into Hercule. It's our specially defensive Mon. Like I said, Milotic is physically defensive this week. Octavius is obviously a fat Mon, and I decided to run the Swords Dance on the off chance I can get a late game sweep. He's going to double out, most likely knowing what he was doing. Flare Bud is going to be the gosh darn Arcanine here, getting the Intimidate up. Really, really solid by my opponent, making that double switch as I switch out into Hercule. Now, Hercule does have some natural bulk. It does have some natural bulk, so I think it could take a Flare Blitz. I think it could, and a Drain Punch would be really, really nice here. I don't really want to go out into Sakura hard. Although, Chain Chomp is looking really nice. I'm going to hard switch out into Chain Chomp. I know this is a lot of switching in the beginning, and that's not normal of my battles, but I am not taking any chances. I don't want to have to eat up a Flare Blitz with a Conkeldurr at all. He is going to go for the Flare Blitz. I'm going to resist that and get the Rough Skin damage off. Looking at my opponent's team, he only has one Pokemon. He only has one Pokemon that I could think, oh, we're going to see damage by the Recoil as well, so we see, we don't know if he's Life Orb or Choice or anything like that. I could see the only Pokemon I could see coming in right now is the Landorus. I really don't want to make that prediction. I feel much more comfortable just hard switching out into Milotic. I'm gonna hard switch into Milotic, predicting this way it'll predict the Lando switch without risking the Ice Beam and potentially getting the competitive boost. So we'll see how this goes. I'm hoping that we see the Landorus. Now, going for the Hidden Power Ice would have been huge, without a doubt. That is definitely Landorus. But if it has the Intimidate, we're going to get our competitive boost right here. So there's the Intimidate. We get a competitive boost, and that means that Scald is going to do a decent amount to anything, obviously, except for the Suicune. The Suicune is the one thing that's really going to eat this up just fine. But for BP, I have to go for Scald. I do wish I went for Hidden Power Ice because it would have been an easy 2-hit KO, and I am Scarfed, so it would have been fantastic. He's just going to go for the EQ, having me overpredict. However, I am +1. We can see that is a Life Orb Lando, not at all Scarfed. Wishing I'd gone for the Ice Beam, but the Scald is going to one-shot and take out the Landorus. Turn 4 of the game. That competitive boost is proving to be absolutely fantastic. Sakura, you are a beautiful, beautiful girl with your pink hair. It's beautiful. All right, so that's one huge threat out of the way. With Landorus being gone, we did lose an Intimidate factor, which is huge. The Arcanine is still around, and I can't see my opponent going out into anything but Claudio. Wow! Some nerve this guy has. Some nerve. Now, I am physically defensive. Part of me does want to just go for a recover. Expecting a little bit of a, I think a knockoff's going to do a butt ton, though. I don't really want to hard switch into Octavius. I think I can live one just because I'm physically defensive. Do I really think that, though? I'm going to go for the Scald. Claudio on the field is making me mad. Let's see if we can take this knockoff. We cannot! Darn it! Sakura, I'm sorry. I should have just went out into my... I should have just went out. All right, so who do we go out into now? I can go out into Sasuke and get a Leaf Storm off, although that you know what? No, we go into Hercule. We go into Hercule every time. We go into Hercule every time. Going into Hercule simply because we have Mach Punch, we have Drain Punch. I do kind of expect the Gardevoir to come in. I don't know if I want to take that risk and go for the knockoff, but had I made the correct prediction and gone into my Scizor, I'd still have my Milotic around, and not having my Milotic around is huge. And a Waterfall would really hurt from this thing. But I think a knockoff Mach Punch would KO it, so I'm gonna go for knockoff. I know it won't do, it's not gonna knock off the Mega Stone from the Gardevoir if it does come in, but it should do a good amount of damage. It was either that or make a double switch again, and I'm not really in the mood to make another double switch. So really hoping that my opponent does switch out into anything at this point. I don't even care if he goes into the Intimidate Arcanine. I do not care. Because a knockoff is not going to do much to Claudio, despite the fact that Claudio is very frail, and it's an imitation of Claudia, a straight up imitation. Change one letter. You think he can change one letter? Steve, he is going to withdraw Claudio. And I expect to see Gardevoir here. Flare Bud is actually going to come out. So getting a knockoff off to get rid of whatever item this may be is going to help us in the long run. I have to admit, though, us not having Milotic here is huge, without a doubt. It's the Rocky Helmet. Surprisingly enough, I expected an offensive item. Now, part of me does want to just Drain Punch here, because I do have that natural bulk that I was referring to. I'm gonna Drain Punch here. He's gonna withdraw Flare Bud. I'm hoping going out, not into Gardevoir. Japanese, that's the Gardevoir. So he's gonna take this Drain Punch absolutely fantastically. A double knockoff there would have been huge. Gonna trace my Guts to find out that I am in fact not Iron Fist, that I am Guts. I can't help but bring Guts. Drain Punch is going to do very, very little. We're gonna get a bit of HP back now, and I feel as though Gardevoir has the huge upper hand here. I think that Gardevoir has a ridiculous upper hand. I don't think Khan can stay in. I really don't think... Oh, man, I should have been running Poison Jab instead of Knockoff. Without a doubt. Because Hyper Voice one-shots. My opponent played that perfectly. Absolutely perfectly. And if he's got the HP Fire, bringing in Mega Scizor is not going to do anything. I can't bring in Mega Scizor for free. I cannot bring in Mega Scizor for free. Unfortunately. I really can't. I'm almost tempted to get rid of Cody. Clouded. I'm gonna hard switch out into... I think I have to go into his Elf. Hyper Voice still one-shots it though. Oh my gosh, this smarts a lot. This is why I didn't want to bring the Guard Shot, because of the Gardevoir. I think I'm gonna sacrifice Cody here. I'm not willing to sacrifice Hercule while he's got a Miltank around. I'm not willing to do so. We're gonna see what he goes for. I'm sure it's just gonna be Hyper Voice. I can't see there being anything else to go for but Hyper Voice here. And Cody's gonna fall. Hidden Power Fire! Went for the Hidden Power Fire, the Gutso play. It's gonna pay off for us because I outspeed, and I can either get a U-turn off. Now, this is interesting. Either I go for the U-turn, or I get my Stealth Rocks up, which will really help against that Arcanine. I'm gonna go ahead and get my Stealth Rocks up. Cody's gonna go down here, but thank goodness I did not switch in my Scizor. I could not do that, like I said. It was way too risky, and it would have bit us right in the tuchus. Cody, you just getting these rocks up is enough for me. If you get these rocks up, Cody, that way that Arcanine can stop having fun, I'm happy with it. I'm happy with it. I do kind of expect the Arcanine to come in now. I wouldn't be surprised. But we're gonna get our Stealth Rocks up, and Cody's gonna go down after getting these Stealth Rocks up, but it's okay. It's okay, because the Hyper Voice is gonna take Cody down. I understand that. It's a necessary loss. But getting those rocks up, Cody, you have no idea how much that matters. Now, of course, I have to go out into Octavius here. Have to go into Octavius. Guard Chop is Choice Scarf. I do wish he was banded at this moment because Earthquakes would wreck through the opponent's entire team. And I have no option but to go for... Now, let me just see. Scizor, Mega Scizor. I think Bullet Punch has to be our go-to move. I can't risk it. I Can't risk it. I have to go for Bullet Punch. He's going to withdraw. Really obvious, but it's not worth the risk of me going for U-turn. Flare Bud is going to come out and take 25% and intimidate me. But we just have to play the waiting game. We have to play the waiting game, and we have to hope that Suicune later in the game does not burn Octavius. We'll see how much this does. It's going to be resisted and intimidated. Not enough to be a 2 KO, even in the slightest. I have to go out into Garchomp here. I'm not even going to think about it. I'm just going out of the Garchomp. Straight up go out into Garchomp. Octavius needs to take that Gardevoir out as our only answer to Gardevoir. With one of his Intimidators below 25%, he's not going to be able to come back in at all. Chain Chomp's here. And Chain Chomp, he's going to go for the Morning Sun to preserve this thing. Wow. That is huge. That is absolutely huge to have that preservation that he needs. I'm going to go for the Earthquake here. Once again, it's one of those things that I'm not going to think about. It is the play to make. He's going to withdraw Flare Bud. I don't care who he goes out into. It's probably Suicune. No way the Miltank. Let's see how much this Miltank takes from an Earthquake. I am Scarfed. So not banded. But Earthquake is not going to be a 2 KO. And we're going to have to deal with Milk Drink, I think. I think we're going to be dealing with a little bit of Milk Drink. I'm just going to EQ again. If he Milk Drinks, he Milk Drinks. If not, whatever. I'm really hoping that he doesn't. Maybe he'll set up his own rocks. Does set up his own rocks. All right, so Miltank is going to be gone. Miltank is either going to be gone or, like I said, I think Suicune's coming out. I can't click Outrage while the Mega Gardevoir is around. I just cannot do it. And I wouldn't be surprised if Suicune comes out. Seeing how physically defensive this thing is, though, I'm hoping that the Suicune is actually specially defensive. If we get rid of this Miltank, then our Serperior can actually win us the game. So we're gonna get rid of this Miltank right now. Garchomp is gonna take the Miltank out. I should have been keeping track of these KOs. I definitely should have been keeping track. Miltank goes down to the Garchomp. I'm really hoping my opponent feels confident and goes out into the Gardevoir. Unfortunately, my Serperior Flare Bud's actually gonna come out. Wow. That's shocking. It's just for the Intimidate, I suppose. I could definitely see him switching out right here. But I think I'm just gonna click EQ. He's gonna withdraw Flare Bud. It was just to get the Intimidate up. I can see the Suicune coming in right now. Air Flood is the Suicune. It's gonna take Stealth Rock damage and EQ damage. With me being intimidated, I don't think it'll pick up the KO here, the 2-hit KO, I should say. I really don't think it will. Unfortunately, had we switched in our Serperior there, that would have won us the game. That would have been the game changer. I gotta look for that opportunity a little bit better. I'm gonna go out into Hercule here. I'm making the very obvious plays, and I understand that. But we can see that my opponent's team is slowly getting dwindled. The Arcanine with the Intimidate is huge for my opponent. Losing Milotic turn 5 was absolutely horrifying. Kind of hoping he goes for the Scald, but I'm expecting to see an Ice Beam. Maybe he's gonna think that I'm just devoted to clicking Outrage, clicking Earthquake. We're gonna take Stealth Rock damage, and he's gonna withdraw Air Flood and go out into his Gardevoir. Oh my gosh. That was beautiful, Steve. That was absolutely beautiful. With the Miltank down, have to admit, I'm okay with letting my Conkeldurr drop. I don't think he's gonna go for HP Fire. I'm trying to think, who's more important? Garchomp outspeeds everything right now and has EQ, so you're more important than Hercule. If I let Hercule go down here, if I switch into Scizor and he doesn't go for HP Fire, I win the game. If he goes for anything but HP, if he goes for HP Fire, then I lose the game. If I stay in and I lose Conkeldurr, I can always go out into Octavius. I can even U-turn, get a bunch of damage off, and then I have to see if Serperior can actually take him out. Because the special defense is really high on Gardevoir, I have to admit. Special defense is really, really high, and I think a regular Leaf Storm is not going to do the trick. So once this Gardevoir is gone, I'm not too worried about the Arcanine, because if the Arcanine comes in, once I have my +2, a Dragon Pulse will take out the Arcanine. I'm sorry, Hercule, I gotta let you go down. I have to let you go down. Ice Punch does a little more, we're going for Ice Punch. Hidden Power Fire again! Steve lets the green take control of him. Steve lets the green, he snags a crit, although it doesn't matter. I don't think it matters anyway, because we were planning on letting Conkeldurr go down. We can see that Ice Punch does a lot of damage, a lot of damage, and I'm really tempted to switch out into Octavius here to preserve my Hercule. I'm really tempted to switch out into Octavius here. Because besides this Gardevoir, I don't need Octavius for anything. That's a little, I guess that's a little overstated. That's a little overstated. You know what? I'm gonna let Hercule go down on purpose so that I can bring in my Serperior and get my +1 Leaf Storm up. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do that. Let's go ahead and just go for the knockoff in case he switches into Suicune. He's gonna go for the Hyper Voice. Conkeldurr's gonna go down. Really obvious. I know I could have played to that. I could have played to that and gone down to the Scizor. But it wasn't worth the risk, because now what's even better than that is that I have a free switch into Sasuke and there's nothing he can do about it. I outspeed everything on his team. We've seen leftovers on Suicune. I'll outspeed, even if he has a Choice Scarfed Crawdon, I'll outspeed it. My original plan was to glare a lot of things, but that's not gonna happen. I'm really wishing I had brought the HP Ground instead, but we're gonna get a Leaf Storm off. We're gonna go ahead and take this thing out. It was really smart of my opponent not switching into his Arcanine. He did not directly switch into his Arcanine, which was really smart. Arcanine is gonna go ahead and give me the boost. I wanna see how much Dragon Pulse does. Dragon Pulse does just as much as Leaf Storm, surprisingly. Leaf Storm actually does a little more, and it might not be worth the risk now. Considering Serperior is my win condition, I don't think it's worth the risk. If he goes right out into Arcanine, and Arcanine's not below half, we can't do it. We cannot do it. Man! Man, that's smarts! Ah! I'm really upset about that. I'm really upset that I didn't bring HP Rock or HP Ground. Here comes the Flare Bud. Oh, it's low enough! It is low enough, forget about that! I just have to make sure that I have everything correct here. Arcanine, I got an attack boost, which is fine. +2 special attack. Leaf Storm does 54%. So there's no chance. Dragon Pulse is guaranteed to hit. Leaf Storm has a tiny, barely. I have Wide Lens on, so it really can't miss. Because it increases it from 90 to 100. I think I just clicked Leaf Storm to win the game. I think. Please don't let me down, Sasuke. We're gonna see the Extreme Speed. He's gonna try to go for the Extreme Speed Aqua Jet combo to take me out. But we can see that the best part about Serperior, well, not the best part, obviously Contra is the best part, but one of the best things about Serperior is that it has some natural bulk to it. So Serperior, getting rid of that Meltank was absolutely exactly what we needed this week. Once that Meltank was down, the game was pretty much sealed. It stunk that I had to let certain mons drop in order to get this win, but I think that this was played out perfectly. I couldn't ask for anything better. There's the Aqua Jet. Claudio, you try to take one of my Pokemon, Steve. You name it Claudio instead of Claudia, and I have no choice but to go ahead and Leaf Storm it out of here and have a +6 Superior. It's a crit! That's just putting salt in the wound. But your New York Mankeys are going to pull through with a win this week, with a 3-0 victory. Our best victory, well, it's only our second victory, but better than our first victory, that's for sure. Serperior Sasuke really proving the haters wrong. A lot of people said Sasuke's not going to do much this season, which I find surprising, because we can see right here with base 113 speed and a fantastic team around it that we're able to pick up a W3-0 sweep with Serperior. Actually, Serperior got 4 kills this week: Gardevoir, Arcanine, Crawdon, and Suicune. So Steve, very good match. Good luck in the rest of the season. I hope to see you in the playoffs. With that, Mankeys, be sure to show your support down below. We are now 2-1 in the season. We're only 3 weeks in. I might have said week 4, but this is week 3. In the beginning of the video, I might have said that. But I hope you guys enjoyed this battle. If you did, be sure to show your love and support for the Mankeys and the Shady people by clicking that thumb down below. It means you're touching and you're loving. I'm going to get the heck out of here. I will see you guys next week. We're eating nothing but Lucky Charms until the end of the season. Have yourselves a good day. But above all else,